Hey guys, it's Mike with CEP-TV, and today, before you call a leak detection company, we want to give you a little bit of information so that you can figure out whether or not you actually have a leak in your pool or whether you're just experiencing major evaporation. Now, that's a very real problem here in Texas, especially when you have long periods that are extended over 100 degrees. You can see massive amounts of evaporation occur, and as a new pool owner, especially if you had it installed in the summer, you're going to get nervous that perhaps you have a leak somewhere. People are oftentimes convinced they have leaks when there are no leaks. The truth is the stats are about 65 inches a year on average evaporate out of a North Texas pool. So that's a tremendous amount of water, and yes, you will be doing some refilling, and yes, you are going to see that water go down. If you have multiple water features or spillover spas, you can see over an inch a day evaporate back out as that water makes it into the air, mists off, and evaporates even faster. So what we want to do is, before you get real concerned about everything, we want to kind of give you a couple of ways to tell right away whether or not you actually have an issue that requires a leak detection company, or more importantly, that requires you being nervous about it, because we want y'all at peace. One of the first things that you're going to notice as your pool water goes down, if you have a leak, is you're going to notice your sump water level increasing. If you see water going down 6 inches in your pool, it's probably going to come all the way to the top of the pipe. This pipe is actually the first and most important way we're going to tell whether or not you even actually have a leak. First thing you're going to do is go ahead and take your pole, disconnect whatever attachment you have on it, grab your 7-way test strips, and you're going to need 2 of these guys. One of them is going to test the water inside the pool, and one of them is going to test the water inside the sump. Grab a hold of one of these guys, grab you some duct tape or something that's got good adhesive quality so that you don't end up losing this test strip. Put the test strip, without covering any of the 7 areas that you want to test, attach it to the bottom of your pole, just like that. And then we are going to get the water chemistry that's in this sump pipe. Simply dip it down into the water, make sure it makes it all the way into the water, hold it there for just a second, pull it out, and now we have the chemistry results of our sump pipe. We're also going to take one and test this chemistry in our pool. These 2 strips are going to tell us how close the chemistry is between these 2 areas of water. Now, obviously, we're treating the pool water with chlorine, but we aren't treating the outside water with any chlorine. And you can see here what we've pulled out of the pool has chlorine present, and what we pulled out of the sump has 0 chlorine. That's one of the quickest and easiest ways to tell. We have high free chlorine in the pool. We have no chlorine in the sump. That's the quickest way you're going to be able to tell. And if you don't see chlorine in the pipe, but you do in your pool, you don't have a leak. Chances are you're just experiencing some major evaporation. When it comes to the discussion of whether or not you have a leak, the answer is not to take a 5-gallon bucket and fill it with water and then monitor the difference between your pool and that 5-gallon bucket. The wind that we experience in North Texas also works with these higher temperatures, and a larger surface area is going to evaporate faster than a small 5-gallon surface area. And so it's not an accurate thing to simply tell your pool contractor that you're not losing in the 5-gallon bucket, but you are in the pool. When it comes to leaks, anything can happen. It doesn't necessarily mean you have a bad contractor, because the contractor and the installer is only as good as the equipment that they're using. And we experienced a situation years back where we had a whole load of PVC parts that had hairline cracks and imperfections in them. We were able to catch them as we did the pool test before we went ahead and backfilled everything. But if you have a part that failed, that's not necessarily an installer or a contractor that failed. The most important thing is just to get it fixed. But when you bring out a dye or a leak detection company, they're going to come and they're looking for problems. And so many times we've seen customers get all up in arms because their leak detection company swears there's a leak when there's not. Usually when we see leaks, if they occur from the actual pool shell attachments, they end up being lights. That's why we don't like using gaskets that are squeeze gaskets or roll gaskets and lights. We like using our flat Jandy HydroCool lights that seal nice and solid against them so that you don't have any leakage that occurs around the lights. Typically, if the pool wall fittings are put in correctly, you're never going to have an issue with those leaking. And one of the ways that you're going to tell, we recommend you turning your pump off until the water can get still take a piece of tape, put it across at the water line on your skimmer window, and then 24 hours with the pump running, monitor the amount of evaporation. 24 hours with the pump off, monitor the amount of evaporation. That will tell the contractor whether or not you have an issue with the plumbing that's going either above ground or underneath the ground, or whether you actually have an issue that's the shell or something attached to the shell. So guys, this is the easiest way to tell whether or not you have a problem. And quite honestly, people get very excited about this, and almost every time we've come out to inspect a leak, there is no leak. It's literally just evaporation. We want you to be comfortable and happy with your pool and not to worry about anything. So hopefully this video has given you some information and will help you kind of get an idea of a couple steps you can take before you get concerned. We'll see you on the next one.